True to form, NetherRealm and WB have done basically nothing to celebrate the 30th anniversary of Mortal Kombat. There's an animated movie and an announcement for a fourth one, a Twitter video, a logo with sod all to put it on, and that's about it. The only noteworthy thing was the 3 in the logo reflecting MK3's logo, and here I thought Persona's 25th was underwhelming. But we did get this one lovely little art piece that's full of references to the series past, and I think it's worth analysing. We'll start down here at the bottom and work our way around. We begin with a basic image of Scorpion and Sub-Zero fighting in Shang Tsung's throne room from MK1. Above that we have Liu Kang vs Goro, the big clash that best represents MK1's plot and is the start of Liu Kang's reign as the hero of MK. The designs come from MKX, which you can tell from Liu Kang's pants, which he only wore in his classic costume in that game and never anywhere else. Above that are Sub-Zero holding a skull, which he never does in the games since the head rip doesn't clean the bones of flesh, but he does hold a skull in his Iron Studio statue, which was probably the inspiration here. Beside him is Raiden doing lightning stuff. The design is MK1 and the pose is from his MK9 render but with extra lightning. Above them is Johnny Cage's signed photo from his MK2 friendship. Above that is Reptile spewing acid on Scorpion. Reptile's design is actually closer to Scorpion's Saurian Combat League skin than any actual Reptile design, since Reptile has never been full lizard in his MK2 costume. Why he's fighting Scorpion I can only imagine relates to that costume or Reptile's original moveset being based on Scorpion's. Then we have OG Shao Kahn pointing as part of his classic taunt. Then we move on to MK3 with Cabal's dash and then Sonya in her dizzy pose. Then we have Kano and Sonya from the Versus screen. Behind them are Jade debuting her new staff weapon and Smoke performing his Armageddon fatality from MK3 where he blows up the earth, even if he's in hell. The next segment features Scorpion falling down the well from MK4's Game Over screen. It's hard to tell from the lack of a high resolution version of this, thanks for caring so much guys, but the design looks closer to UMK3 than MK4 since the skull belt and little battes on his cowl are either absent or just hard to make out. Then we have Raiden from MK4's intro. Fujin here is based on his MK Mythologies artwork. And then Meat is just hanging out in Johnny, Raiden and Fujin's stance since that's the one the MK Wiki has a gif of for easy reference. Deadly Alliance starts strong with Liu Kang's death from the game's intro, along with the Sorcerer handshake from the same, and MK9 Quan Chi performing his beatdown fatality on alternate costume Liu Kang for some reason. Speaking of for some reason, next is 2021 Jax punching MK2 Scorpion. Maybe it's meant to be MK9 Jax, but he's not bald. I couldn't tell you why this is the way it is, it just is. Then we have Monster from Deception stuck in the dark prison death trap. Always nice to see some love for the NPCs. After this, MKX Johnny Cage kicks MK2 Sub-Zero, maybe the artist is also tired of classic ninja skins always coming back, over chess combat from Deception, which it should be illegal to exclude for as long as it has been. Then we have MKX Melina in a pose that looks familiar to me, but I can't identify. She seems to be looking at MKX classic Liu Kang with long hair doing his flying kick as the Dragon's Eye though. Under Johnny and Sub, we have Deception Baraka imitating one of the game's trailers perfectly. Under that is Onaga looking a bit off model, but it's fine. Then we have Striker punching Melina from Armageddon's intro to mark the start of the dash up the pyramid. It's a straighter punch than his actual sucker punch, but it's a fun reference either way. Next is MK11 Shiva holding a head. It's not the one from her intro, but it's hard to say what it's supposed to be without a higher resolution version. Best guess from me, MKX Oshtek Warrior Kotal due to his beef with the Shokan. MKX Cassie is then sandwiched between that MKX reference and a Scorpion taken directly from that game's cover. The space chain is going off in an odd direction, which I suppose is meant to guide your eye line up to Jade's shadow kicking Devourer from their story mode fight in MK11, with Jade's staff exuding enough green light to tint her ugly costume her proper shade. Next is the Pyramid of Argus surrounded by fighters, including Goro, who I don't think is even in that intro, what appears to be MK3 Kung Lao and MK2 Baraka, I think Cyrax and Su Hao, and this one looks like Shao Kahn in his Versus screen pose. Above this is a mirrored version of this motor combat art, another mode that needs to return, and continuing down the other path we have MK9 Kitana kneeing MK9 Costume 2 Melina in the face. Then we have MK11 past Jax in his present outfit, you can tell from the shirt under the jacket, pummeling Noob from the story mode, but Noob has the good mask on. Then we have MK11 Baraka stabbing Sub-Zero in the shoulder like he does to Shang Tsung in Aftermath for whatever reason. Maybe it's based on his fatal blow. And then we cap it all off with MK9 Sub-Zero doing Scorpion's X-ray on Jade for some reason. What? Oh, and the dragon's nostril is Meat from his Armageddon portrait. All in all, I like this piece. It shows love for the series, but I do think it could have gone further with some more movie stuff than just Jax. I appreciate so much 3D era representation, with even game modes and an obscure thing like Monster being included. I also appreciate no acknowledgement of any of MK11's awful newcomers because they just stink up the place. So, good job! Oh, they don't seem to have credited the artist anywhere I can find. well, that's about what I expect at this point. I'd like to thank Pale Horse Ram for getting me the MK9 footage for this video, and all the other chads who offered to record footage for me, because those guys are so much cooler than NetherRealm and WB, who seem to think game preservation is silly and gay and not a cool thing done by cool people. Port MK9 forward, you losers! If you liked this video, why not subscribe and support me on Patreon like these fine people here? If not, then make sure to share it with your enemies so they can suffer along with you. Today's recommended video is the 30th anniversary video because it's well produced and includes clips from even the cartoon. No Conquest though. And it says to play MK1 and 9 now, but on what? You can't buy those anywhere, guys. MK9 was delisted years ago and MK1 hasn't been re-released since like 2011.